Hello, everyone. My name is Manon Burgel. I'm COO at B2Expand. And I'll be talking about Ethereum and gaming, because that's what we do at B2Expand. And first of all, we've been in the space for 1 year and a half, and I just wanted to retrace a little bit what we did and what were the concepts that we manipulate and so on. So, okay. Yes, B2Expand is a French company. It was founded in January 2017 after our ICO that we did in November 2016. And this ICO was initially to fund and to develop and to make the our token, the Nexium, circulate for one specific project that was called Beyond the Void. So maybe you know our company under the Beyond the Void name, because that was our main project for a long time. And it started as a family business of 4, and now we're around 20 people full-time working on in B2Expand. And what we want to talk about here now is the digitalization of gaming assets. It's true for the whole entertainment industry, but we focus on gaming. And in gaming, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, because I'm 26, and I was playing Pogs and Pokemon cards when I was a kid, and I bought my Pokemon cards, my Pogs, and then I could do whatever I wanted with them. I could give them to my friends. I could exchange them, even though a Pog and a Pokemon card are not part of the same games. So I was really free of using them when I wanted. And that was also true. These are physical games, but this was also true for video games, because video games then were on CDs or on you know, physical items, and then you were not you didn't have the right of the intellectual property of the content, but you could exchange the content, exchange the CD or the DVD with anyone else, or even retail it on second-hand markets, and so on. This is not the case anymore, because today most of the games, most of the game items are actually only digital, and there is no physical counterpart anymore. So all the game content is digital. You only buy the right to use it, but you are not the real owner of any of it. And the result of that is that licenses, games are hardly transferable anymore between games and licenses, and there is no more second-hand market, because studios and licenses hold the rights to the content, and they don't give this right to you. So you are actually paying for right to use and not for the true ownership of the item. So that is what B2Expand aims at resolving. It's create a digital second-hand market that would act exactly like physical second-hand markets used to in video games, where you can actually buy stuff from the studio's licenses, but also it's transferable and you can give it to anyone else, you can trade it, you can do whatever you want with it. And the other very interesting thing with blockchain is that it's transparent, it's open source, meaning that any studio, any developer that want to use some game items actually can, because it's there are some standards on Ethereum, ERC20, other standards that are coming out, meaning that any developer, for example, in our games, any developer can say, I want to detect that specific asset in a specific user wallet, and then I can implement some functionalities in my own game in my own app. And this is something we want to see more and more, to build a community around gaming and around true ownership on Ethereum. Just shortly, the first game that we developed, because all these concepts in 2016 were just concepts, and some other company, well, one other company already did some of it, but we wanted to do our own game and to show people what we can actually do with the Ethereum blockchain technology. So this is our first game. It's manipulating all the concepts that I just told you about, and it's called Beyond the Void. It's a strategy game in space, and where you are in control of your mothership, and you have to conquer planets. And it's really like any other game on Steam, for example. It's nothing. From a game perspective, we're trying to do the best game, and so players can really enjoy, but it's not, the user experience is not really different in this game than in any other game in the same type, like MOBA RTS game. I've just have a small video. It's 1 minute long. It's just that I think videos are like way more talkative than just text. So the game looks like that. Actually, it's a brand new version, so it's not an official teaser trailer. It's just some images that I put together yesterday. It's a draft. You have to draft your skills, and then you can use them in the game. Oh, format is not. And you're in control of your ship, which has some skills that you can see at the bottom and unlock. When you advance in the game, you can fight with these skills, like we see right now. It's a 1 versus 1 game, so you fight with the mothership of your opponent. And you can conquer planets, as we see here. So planets can be hosts to satellites that you can build on, and this will give you more army, more economy, and all that stuff. So it's really like a MOBA, like League of Legends, if you know. Well, that was harsh. Sorry about that. It's just that I didn't have like all the movie skills yesterday night in my hotel room, but there are like official teasers on YouTube and other. But it's not the latest, and I wanted to show you the latest version of the gameplay, so that's it. I'm just putting back the... Yes, and so I'll just quickly pass all this stuff. Yes, and in this game, if it was a regular game that you find on Steam, which is the biggest platform for video game distribution in the world right now, there are some problems. If your account is suspended, if your account is suppressed, if you were a big troll and you insulted everyone and then you get banned, all the money that you actually invested in the game items, in the skins, and all that stuff, you lose it. That's the truth right now in the video game industry. And that's what we see here. We see a lot of comments, and a lot of people are very unhappy. Players are unhappy about this fact. And also, they cannot, when they buy a skin in League of Legends, they cannot transfer it in another game, and they cannot sell it back. And studios are really eating the bricks for players to sell back and forth game items, actually. In Beyond the Void, however, we have a blockchain economy, meaning that all the game items that you can find in the game are actually blockchain assets, and they're ERC20 compatible. And this brings back the true ownership of assets, because suddenly assets actually exist outside of the game. Even if you have a compatible ERC20 wallet, you can actually see your game items, and you can send it and sell it if you find the right platform to do so. And since it's ERC20 standard, you need to find basically any platform that would accept ERC20. And the other thing is we have partnerships with other games, one other game in particular that is called Spells of Genesis. And the game items that you find, some of the game items that you find in Beyond the Void are actually usable in Spells of Genesis as well, even though we say the intellectual owners of all the graphics of the assets and so forth. You actually, Spells of Genesis implemented their graphics for these specific assets in their game, and we implemented some of theirs in ours. So this is the very beginning of what we think could be a very big Ethereum community around gaming assets. And this is just a proof of concept right now, but it's really working. And we aim at spreading this model so everyone can use the same assets, do cross-promotion, and build a community around true ownership and cross-gaming assets. This is our decentralized application. So of course, you can buy stuff from B2Expand because we are developing Beyond the Void, but you can also trade those same items on the black market, and there players can actually trade without any interference from B2Expand into their trades. It's just, this is a decentralized application. It's just an interface to the Ethereum blockchain, meaning that we don't take any commission. Players are free to sell or to buy items in the black market, and we don't control it in any way. But of course, this is all about Beyond the Void, because this is the first project that we really developed for more than 1 year now, and that is scheduled to be released at the end of this year and stuff. But what I really wanted to talk about when I came here today is I wanted to talk about the Ethereum gaming community, because we find that a lot of people are actually interested in gaming. And a lot of people like this idea of true ownership and cross-gaming because it's really, well, it brings real advantages in the player space, and also because it's really fun to have a CryptoKitty in Beyond the Void, for example, or to do cross-gaming, cross-promotion. So there are a lot of other projects, Crypto Wars from Experimental here, CryptoKitty, Spells of Genesis, I talked earlier, but a lot more. And we feel that we want to be part of this community. We want to build up a community of developers and players that could be around these concepts. And of course, Nexium tokens are free to use for anybody, and we really want to push forward this way of just implementing ERC20 standard assets and to just build something together. So we create tutorial videos for blockchain, for decentralized application, and we also create, there is something very great on Unity right now, Unity, which is largely used by independent studios, video game studios. It's called Ethereum, and it's aiming at implemented blockchain into directly into Unity, and we found, so we use that. It's great. It's not from our team. We didn't develop it, but we also develop other tools for a very easy implementation on Unity, and we want to be at the service of the community. And also, for any developers that are interested in implementing blockchain, we are always available to answer questions and to participate to the ecosystem. But somehow we thought that this is not really enough, because the whole Ethereum blockchain community can't be about B2Expand and can't be about Nexiums, right? So there are a lot of other gaming tokens at the moment, doing like with their visions, with their projects, and we want to be part of that also, and to have a larger vision of all the crypto gaming tokens. So we thought that also, what I wanted to say first is that as a participator in the ecosystem, we can't really help people, we can't really help studios, independent studios, we can't implement things for them, we can't fund them. There is a lot of things that we actually can't do because we can only say, you can use that, and this is a tutorial video, but we don't have a privileged partnership with most of these studios. That's what we created Nexarium. It's a curated list of video games that are actually willing to be part of our ecosystem. And then we can really help them implement stuff and doing cross-gaming and implement easily blockchain assets into gaming and all that stuff. And we also provide other services like Nexarium login. Then you can be compatible with actually all the other games, all the other apps into the Nexarium ecosystem. But again, this is B2Expand ecosystem, and this is not really, and also, yeah, we want to publish those games into our decentralized marketplaces, because we already have a decentralized marketplace that is actually working and on the main Ethereum network. So why not use that and publish other games? But, and we also, yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting what I'm supposed to say, but we opened a co-working space in Lyon, because we are from Lyon, France, and we are proposing studios to come, and so they can be really close to us, and we can all work together on the same concepts. But as I said earlier, this is not really enough, because all of that is about B2Expand and the Nexarium and the Nexium, and there are a lot of other gaming projects around in the community. And we wanted to make all these professionals in the blockchain and gaming industry, which is a very specific industry with very specific issues, we wanted them all to meet. And we thought, okay, how do we do that? How do we make people meet between each other and talk? So we are organizing an event. It's called Blockchain Game Summit. It's in Lyon, France. It will be in probably at the end of September and beginning of October 2018. It's organized by B2Expand, but really what we want to do is to gather all the blockchain and gaming actors and, well, all the blockchain and gaming companies, developers, but also we thought, okay, we need to invite the large gaming company. The video game industry is not about blockchain, mostly. Blockchain is a very, very small space, and gaming is a much, much larger space with a larger developer base and user base. So how do we make large gaming companies and blockchain companies meet? Well, we designed this event for that. We hope that will create a lot of interactions between all the developers, studios, large studios, small studios, blockchain and non-blockchain. But then the thing was, how do we keep discussing, how do we keep the conversation open between all these companies, all these developers? Because an event is just that. It's just an event. It has a beginning, it has an end, and after that, what do we do of all the information, all the stuff that we want to develop together, and all that stuff? So, of course, during the Blockchain Game Summit, we hope that a lot of partnerships will be created. But we wanted to do also something more like less private, because a partnership between two companies is still very private. And we wanted to open more the discussion and to have an open place to continue those discussions. So we're proposing something. It's still a concept right now, but we think that it really has a future. It's the Ethereum Game Alliance, and this won't be organized. This won't be owned or anything by B2Expand. We just want to talk to all the companies, all the developers that are doing the same thing as us, that are experiencing the same issues, and this could actually lead to a lot of things, like well, create an Ethereum gaming community, but also define new open standards for gaming, for example, because we have to answer to very specific issues. Develop new tools, share these tools with each other. And generally speaking, I think it's very interesting to be identified as an Ethereum Game Alliance by other companies in the gaming industry that don't know anything about blockchain, because then if we're easily identified, we could be easily contacted as well. I think that's it. We have, as Luciano said, we have gaming and blockchain meetup right now, well, in a few moments. So if you're interested in gaming, or if you're a gamer, or if you're a developer, you're very welcome to join and to discuss with us.